Welcome, everyone. I'm Kevin, and I'll be your host for this session. Today, we're joined by Dr. Pan, the visionary founder and CEO of Ainnocence, a company at the forefront of AI-driven biotech innovation.
Hey, everybody. Very nice to be here. I will be sharing all I know about AI and its application in this field without any reservation. Thank you for your attention and I hope you enjoy the talk.
Okay, great. Let's start with a quick overview. For those who might not be familiar, what is Ainnocence and what problems are we trying to solve?
Ainnocence is actually has a metaphor of innocent AI, as we aim to use AI technology in the good cause for a good human society and also for the benefit of human health. And we're building this company in order to leverage the advanced AI technology, including advanced algorithm and also the vertical field in the life science and data science to be able to expedite the drug discovery process and also tackle some of the scientific challenging in drug design and to make some really breakthrough therapeutics for some incurable disease that so far and there's about 1,500 diseases without treatment currently. So we definitely have a lot of work to do to eventually eradicate those human sufferings.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. And I heard a lot of very big keywords in the opening statements. And so let's start by cutting through the buzz. AI and drug discovery, it's been a hot topic over the last few years. So let's explain this little by little. What's actually working today, and what are some real and proven use cases out in the market right now?
Yeah, definitely. This is drug discovery indeed is a very big, long process that involving multiple process that with different disciplines from chemistry, biology, and pathology and physiology, and also other medical professions and background knowledge in order to push all the necessary research from the beginning to the end. And traditionally, this process normally would take years from the screening of the drug all the way to a clinical approval. And if we just simplify the entire process that probably involve hundreds of steps, there are three major processes that is impacted by AI, and actually we already see some success stories. The first one is in terms of the research of disease biology and be able to extract information from omic data of the patient and be able to identify therapeutic target that is relevant for the disease. So this field has been having many novel discoveries of new drug target in the past 10 years. And also the data that in this field is also enormously big that covers that very large patient sample, and each patient sample has multiple layers of data that contributes to that final conclusion between target and the disease. And so this is the one of the major application. Then the second step is once you identify a therapeutic target, we will use AI technology to do drug design. And drug design in the past was either done very manually or have done using very traditional software for very large scale simulations that consume very large scale of computational resource that's probably equivalent to the cost of wet lab screening. But nowadays we use AI be able to leverage the history of the pharmacology research and all the data involved in the past molecules that has been tested, so that we'll be able to build very efficient and accurate AI models to generate molecules effectively and be able to validate them rather quickly than the conventional blind screening, which involve like millions of molecules being actually tested. Now we only need a few or just dozens of them being actually tested in the wet lab. And then the third step will be the clinical trial. So nowadays, AI technology has been heavily involved in patient selection and also clinical trial design and execution, and also clinical data analysis. So make clinical trial really effective. We see many companies that involved in this field, even make clinical trials that in multiple regions completely automated and with intelligence management systems and also the data extraction and also an analysis system as well. I think all those like processes has very quickly adapt AI technology in the past 2 or 3 years. And Ainnocence primarily focus on the drug design process, which is a core process that is the AI technology generates the core IPs of those therapeutics. And we have done over 60 different therapeutic discovery cases successfully with our wet lab partners and our clients, which are pharmaceutical companies that has the drug discovery projects. Yeah, we do see like just the recent probably 2 3 years, this field is having much knowledge-wise really has a lot of breakthrough, and also the validation has been more and more convincing than that people start to adapt this type of technologies more widely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I definitely read papers in the past, and over the past few years, there's definitely been quite a few papers that have been validating the use cases for their AI models for some of these use cases. And so some of these real world applications include like molecular generation, structure prediction, and also hit identification. Can you give us a brief introduction about the second part of the drug discovery process and how AI is used for these processes?
So first of all, some of the terms such as hit generation or we say like the starting point of identify a drug candidate that might be therapeutic, has therapeutic effect. So the hits, which means and it has showing biologic efficacy through certain in vitro assay. And the AI is currently be able to first generate very large chemical space up to like billions of molecules in a few hours. And at the same time, the AI models are able to select among all those novel chemical space, those ones that are relevant to the target we're interested and also relevant to the pharmacology profile that the disease that we're interested. And normally this generation process also combined with a multi-parameter optimization process to make sure those molecules are having multiple characteristics that satisfied as a drug candidates. And normally the process goes with screening billions of possibilities and only test a few in the wet lab. And conventionally, let's see, a blind screening for any random chemical space is about 1 out of 10,000 molecule. And then the first generation of computer, a drug design is about 1 out of 100. And then the current AI system could achieve as much as 3 out of 10. So it's really improved the hit rate so that we can do much less like wet lab experiment. So this is the hit generation process and how it goes. And also structure prediction is somewhat important to understand the therapeutic target's function and its drug binding like regions and how and rationalize how we should design a molecule to interfere its function. And there's already been a lot of achievement in this field. Even last year, 2024's Nobel Prize was heavily awarded this area that multiple scientists is contributing in the field. In the past, a structure of a target takes years in the wet lab using crystallography or crowd EM. Right now, the AI model is able to predict it very quickly with the data has been learned. Yeah, so those are also important for us as the beginning point of the drug design. And also the drug optimization process is once we're closer to the candidate, we're also using AI technology to expand the chemical space somehow that is more focused and relevant to that particular drug target. And also, for example, if we're optimizing a drug that targets a brain tumor, so that we have to build a blood-brain barrier model to make sure all those design molecules can pass the blood-brain barrier. But if we're designing a drug that is targeting, let's say, a kidney disease, we actually do not want it to cause side effect that pass the blood-brain barrier, so that we have to counter-screen the blood-brain barrier. So those are all pharmacology features that we need to consider to further optimize the potential side effect and also effects of the drug.
Okay,